So, hi again, Internet. I planned on talking about an NES game that's being kickstarted this time around. Unfortunately, despite my many efforts, I was not able to get one of the press cards for review. I did try, trust me, I tried. I even tried reaching out to some of the other reviewers that did get a press card, still no luck, no one's given that thing up. So now it's on my holy grail list, and I have to instead review something else. Because, I can't just be giving away free press at this point. So, as you may have guessed, this, I would say week's video, but I'm not doing them every week, probably every other. So this particular video's game is Book of Demons, which is, as you may have noticed, a PC game on Steam. It's a dungeon crawler made by a company called Thing Trunk, and Book of Demons is actually just the first of many games in an ongoing series they plan on releasing. By series, I don't think that necessarily means all the games are like interwoven and tied together, but rather they all share the same stylized... You know what, let me just show you the game and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, so this game has this very cut paper style aesthetic, and honestly, it's really fun. So the game has an isometric view that you navigate throughout using your mouse to move along a single path. And by that, the path will branch. I just mean that you stay centered on every hallway and can either move forward or backward. So it makes dodging and maneuvering around things a little more challenging and a little more involved. Also, while you use your mouse to move, you also use it to attack, pick up loot, and eventually to break shields and cancel spells and all sorts of complicated things. So later on in the game, things will get really hectic. But let me start back at the beginning. When you first start, you're in a small town. There's an innkeeper that you can talk to, and before we go any further, if you think there's any sort of Easter egg or something in this strange little village, then do yourself a favor, play around on your own, and don't cheat and Google and ruin it. Just have fun with this. But anywho, after talking to the barkeep lady person here, then an old man appears and you talk to him too, and then you can finally make your way into the dungeon. Now, much like Diablo, Torchlight, Darkstone, or any other number of dungeon crawlers, this is a roguelike. Side note, if you've never heard of Darkstone, it's an old dungeon crawler. It came out, I think, around the time as the original Diablo, or somewhere between the first and second. So it's been around a while, but it's just a really legit game. Not only is it a great dungeon crawler, but unlike Diablo, Torchlight, and some of these other ones, it actually came in the game itself with a level editor. So you could kind of create your own dungeons and missions, and it's just a really cool game. Even without the editing aspect, but being able to customize and create your own stuff just really puts it above, in my opinion. Anyway, back to the review. So by roguelike, I mean that all the dungeons are procedurally generated, so that while certain constants, like bosses or story events, will always exist at the same certain point, everything else as far as the layout or the enemy placements, those will all be random. And as I said before, you click the direction you want to go, you click on barrels, chests, shrines, anything else you want to interact with, you click on enemies to attack them. As you can see here, this is a video from an earlier level, so things are kind of easy to start. However, it gets pretty crazy later on. Also, there are a number of cards that you pick up. These could be consumables like potions or spells. It could be equipment like armors, weapons, or abilities specific to the player type that you have, or runes, which are cards that you'll use to power up the other cards. Now, all the cards, at least as far as consumables or equipment, require mana to either use or equip. So you always have to pay attention to your mana, and be sure to increase your maximum if you want to equip higher level cards, or if you want to have some left over to cast your spells. And really, there's not much more for me to say about this game. It is fairly basic and straightforward, as most dungeon crawlers tend to be, but if you've played dungeon crawlers before and you enjoyed them, then you should definitely give this one a try. And actually, if you haven't played them before, but if you think you might enjoy them or just want to give one a go, I'd say this is a good one to start with. The aesthetic is just kind of fun. The progression as far as the difficulty is actually pretty natural, and you really kind of work your way into the game and learn as you go at a good pace, so you don't get too overwhelmed. And really, it's a great entry point to the genre. It's very fun, it's very charming, it's a game I would highly recommend. And the fact that it's so fun, tied with just the great humor in some of the quips and the writing and the interactions with the bosses, it really makes me look forward to whatever else Thing Trunk is going to put out in the future. And I also look forward to the day where I can say Thing Trunk without having to stop and consciously think about the words, because that's an obnoxious tongue twister of a name. And actually, that's all I have for you this time around. So go ahead and subscribe to me if you want to see more videos about obscure, weird, random games that I happen to find. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see me interacting with all kinds of other people in the video game industry in hopes that they'll pay attention to me. And I started this like I had a third thing, but I don't, so I guess now you can just do whatever the hell you want. Oh, wait, no. Before my cameraman cuts me off, you could actually